come my sister, and let us build a nation together. Oh, yeah, Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard.
Remember, the key to success is working hard. And to our country, we must have regards. I want to add in there smarter, working smarter. Because if working hard was indeed the key to success, then the carpenter, the mason, the laborers, the folks who work on plantations or worked on plantations out in, whatever, on whatever estate, they would have been rich. If working hard was the key to success, then the fishermen who would go there and oar that boat and cast that net, they would be rich. So it's not working hard, it's working smart. So you have to incorporate that. Nothing wrong with you working hard, but you have to work smarter. Because I give you a very simple example. There are people who are smart enough to take the money that you are saving in the bank through the form of a loan and invest that money, yes, your money that you put into a savings account that the bank would lend to that person with interest. So the bank is making money on your money, and that person will take your money from the bank through a loan and invest it. And it would bring them returns on that investment. They would get, they would make profit. They would realize more money. And they keep doing that because they're smart. It's not just working hard. So you might be working hard and saving your money, putting it into the bank or the credit union, into a savings account, and you see the numbers every day, the amount you have in there. But that doesn't mean to say that somebody can't go into the credit union or the bank, get a loan, and make a lot of money out of your money. Because that's how it works. So it's no longer working hard, but instead working smart. Working smarter, not harder. I want to welcome you to this segment in the program, the Dynamic Hour. What we do is lay a solid foundation for reasoning. We need to reason some more. Just as I started the program, I inserted smarter in there with the theme song because I want you to start reasoning and thinking deeper about investment. It's not just about you saving money, because most people who are wealthy or rich, it's not that they have a lot of cash in an account just watching every day. No, they would take that money and they would invest it, or they would take your money from the bank through the form of loans and invest it in a number of businesses. And they would watch that grow. And they would realize more money. All right? Think about it. Folks, I want to encourage you to share the live. Sharing is caring. Take some time and share the live. Just click on the share button. It looks like a arrow somewhat. So just click on that and you will be able to help spread the good news. The good news that Grenada is a very peaceful place. We have a very stable government. We have a very focus-driven and intelligent leader and prime minister. And we have a team who continue to work to improve the living standard and condition of our people. We want our people to be better off. I saw over the holidays these two very short reels. This one.
We used to see trouble for water, you know? We used to see trouble for water. Yeah. So we get the water now. So we're glad for it. Yeah.
Fresh water.
Yes. Water is life. Water is precious. And you saw in that very short reel or video the most honorable Deacon Mitchell with this elderly lady. I want to assume she lived in that community all her life. And she knows what it feels like not having water or fighting to get water or journeying very far to get water. And with the intervention by Nawasa and the government and the most honorable Deacon Mitchell, water came into that community. And she's honest, very sincere. We used to fight to get water. We had trouble in getting water, and now we have water. It's a good thing. And the kids, they're joyous. They're happy to open the tap and see pipe-borne water, fresh water, clean water coming to them. And that would remain in their memory for many a years. Many, many years. That impact is transformative. So that reel, that clip caught my attention. And the other one caught my attention when we speak about the NDC and the government improving lives, bettering the living standards and conditions of our people.
I want to thank the government and people of Grenada for this kind gesture, and I hope they continue to do what they're doing to help people of Grenada better from the position they is, especially you, who went all the way to make sure that I get what I have today. Thank you very much.
Right. So that's a gentleman, and he has some disability, or he's specially abled, in this case, an amputee, still grateful and thankful to the government for the intervention, building that home for him, making sure that he has a place to rest at nights and even during the day. And he can be at peace with himself, because not having a home or not having a proper home could cause a person to be stressed out or depressed. And once you're stressed out or depressed, that brings on more sickness, more problems. So it's a good thing, very good thing, that the government is doing, helping our people, improving the living standard, improving the living conditions of our people. I love that. So when I speak there about, government that cares and helping people, bettering the lives of our people, that is what I'm talking about. I want to say there seem to be intolerance and impatience creeping in, but it's well orchestrated. People calling radio programs, well, particularly one morning program, and also posting stuff on social media. They're not doing that by accident. It is well orchestrated by the opposition. Don't fool yourself. They know what they are doing. So the opposition started off the year trying to ride the road donkey. Everything for them now is the road this and the road that, and they are trying to get people all fired up and riled up, and and it is showing its face, because there are people who are so impatient and they lack tolerance. It's like they can't wait. And look, we know that the road conditions are not 100%. We know that a lot must be done on the roads to fix the roads. So we know all of that. But the government made it very clear that their priority this year is to fix roads and do other things, but prioritize, fix roads. But to fix roads, you can't just wake up one morning and all the asphalt will be there waiting for you, and the workers will just go ahead and fix the roads. It doesn't happen that way. One, you need to know that there is an ongoing project in the south of the island. There is an ongoing project in the Grenville, Grandetang area. The Calivini area, there's an ongoing project there. So there are a number of places where they have ongoing projects. You cannot run away from that reality where they're laying pipes, they have to cut the road, they have to dig up the road, they have to. So it comes with inconvenience. But we do not, even on a normal day, we do not have the capacity to produce asphalt to pave all the roads in Grenada or to fix all the roads in Grenada. The asphalt plant cannot supply the needs of the government to fix all the roads in Grenada. And that is why it was good news to me and many people who know and who understand this when Renault got the go-ahead to set up that asphalt plant in Woodford and the jetty so materials could come in. That was a good thing. And that would get started very soon because they were well advanced with the setting up of that. When their competitor with other activists that they brainwash caused the whole thing to grind to a halt because they wanted the environmental impact assessment and all kind of stuff. So that slowed the process down. But the government made it clear that they will go into fixing the roads, right? And that's a great thing. That's a wonderful thing. The opposition knows that. They know that the government will be prioritizing the fixing of the roads. So they want, when the government fix the roads, to come out and say, well, we tell them to fix it. We chastise them to fix it. We've been out there talking on your behalf and saying that the bus drivers this and the motorists this and the... That is what they want. They know that the government is going to fix it. Fix the roads. Because the NNP never saw the need to fix it. Remember, we had an asphalt plant that was working, in Perseverance. What did the NNP administration do? They scrapped the thing up. They scrap it up and they had this individual who set up that asphalt plant on that site. But they scrapped the one that was there, that the government had, that was working well. They scrap it and it was sent, from my understanding, to Trinidad or some other place. But it was working and doing the job. But we know how the NNP operated, how they normally do things, the NNP administration. They make sure that they clear the way for their own, right? That's how they operate for many years. So to come now and play as though you care about motorists and you want the roads to widen and you want drains and you want the roads to fix, and the NNP had the opportunity for 23 years and a half to widen our roads and to put drains alongside our roads. They had the opportunity to do that. They didn't do it. They failed to do it. I remember I did a piece many years ago highlighting how bad the road was. The NNP was not fixing it then or patching it then. In fact, how the NNP operated, only around election time, you saw them doing roads and fixing roads. So they would leave it, let it deteriorate badly. So to come now and play saint and play as though you're the most concerned, it's a big laugh. It's a big joke. Also remember, it was the NNP administration who dismantled public works, where they had maintenance crew in every district, in every parish, who would maintain the roads. So if there is a little pothole, they don't have to wait for some contractor to get a contract to patch it or to fix it. They know it was their responsibility within that district to patch and to fix. You see, Grenadians have a very short memory. And we have a lot of young people in the country or who make up the population. And many of them, they were not there when the NNP dismantled public works and all the maintenance crew got sent home. And what happened then, they gave contracts to their cronies and their friends, the NNP administration. So their friends were making big money and continue to make big money because no tractor, no trucks, no rammer, no nothing. They take all that away. And some of the same people who they gave contracts came back and purchased some of the equipment that they had. As government, they auction it out and they give it out to these people. So they could make a kill out of the system. But the roads took longer to fix. Because if you have a crew in St. John, for example, who was stationed close to the police station in St. John, right by that great house or, that building, a very monumental one or historic one. They were stationed right there close to the sea area. And they would go, they would patch, they would fix, they would do the work in the parish. And if they need additional help, Boucherjou would provide that. The main hub for the Western District. And then if you go to St. Mark, you got a similar thing. And in St. Patrick, you got a similar thing. They believe that we forget. They're playing on that. They think we forget that there were men and women who were employed in public works doing the maintenance of our roads, fixing our roads, patching our roads. And the NNP dismantled that. They break that up. They shut that down. And then they gave contracts to their friends and their supporters, right? Certain key people, they gave them contracts to do the same thing. But they would not just go and fix or patch just like that. They have to get a contract to do every piece, every area. So it took a longer time. But if you had a maintenance gang or people doing the maintenance, for example, right now you have maintenance people doing the bushing, the road, the work on the road. They know that once the bush start growing up, they go in and cut it. Look, this morning I saw them going down. So they don't have to wait. They know that is their job. So folks, they believe that we forget. They believe that Grenadians have short memory. So the NNP is now out there talking about roads and fix this road and fix that road. And then they have the supporters calling certain programs and pushing this narrative. We all know that the roads need to be fixed. We know that, but we know why it needs to be fixed. There's some major work going on right now where our roads are being dug up and pipes being laid and a lot of work being done. So we know, all right? And it will be fixed because this government can be trusted. We could trust this government. When they say they're going to fix the roads, they're going to fix it. And it will take millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to fix the roads. It's not that we print in money And it's not that your $50 more going to fix all the roads, the $50 more that you now have to pay. You're going to fix all the roads, and we're paying taxes, and we're paying this, and even the taxes that you pay not enough to fix all the roads in the country. It's not enough. So you growing impatient and intolerant, not going to help. It's not going to change anything. No. But it is something that the NNP concoct, and they now sharing it, rolling it out. So people are going to believe that they care. The NNP don't care. The new National Party don't care about you and about the road. All they want is power, and they're desperate. They want power. That is what they want. But I am saying to you folks, you have to put this thing into context. You cannot just follow what they say and run with this. And we know the motorists, they would love to have all the roads fixed. But have some patience. Have some patience. You don't get development overnight like this. You have so many countries around the world who were worse than Grenada, and their people became more disciplined. They had patience, more focused. They started working smarter, and they dedicated themselves to, making it better. Yes, sacrificing now so that tomorrow will be better, so that next week will be better, so that next month will be better, so that next year will be better. So you have to have patience. The asphalt plant that we have is not able to produce all the asphalt required to fix all the roads in the country. And it's not like we're producing bitumen, this sticky petroleum byproduct that is used. So you would have aggregates, you would have, things like crushed stone, sand, gravel, whatever, to make the asphalt. But you have to add bitumen, the sticky like petroleum byproduct, to make the thing what it is. But this has to come from outside, and you have to pay for it. It has to come from Trinidad and so on. So these things are not cheap. But I am saying Grenadians need to have some patience. Rome wasn't built in a day. And if the NNP administration didn't dismantle public works, and if the NNP administration didn't remove or dismantle the asphalt plant that we had, that were working well and functioning well in perseverance, we would have been in a better place. And if they were constructing the roads properly with drainage and with proper asphalt work being done, because I have always said that we get substandard materials to do the asphalt work on the roads. I've always said so. Where you asphalt, you do some paving, some patching, and by the time the rain falls, 2 days, 3 days, pothole back again. And we have seen that for a lot of years. A lot of years. I heard our beloved Prime Minister made it very clear. We need proper equipment to fix the roads, to asphalt the roads. And I agree with him. In this day and age, you have a piece of equipment. It's like a truck, right? It's truck-like, where as they move, asphalt is being poured on the road or placed on the road, and compacting, the ramming, everything is being done with that piece of equipment. So you have a long stretch of road being fixed. So all you need to do is to put the aggregates, put the bitumen, and it would do the work. Less manpower is needed, and you don't need a person with some old bush thing with a stick and dipping it in things and doing all kind of stupidness. You don't need that. And you get a proper mix. So what the manpower will be needed for would be, to cut stone and so on. In old-time days, my grandfather, for example, he used to work on the road, pitching road and so on. And what they would do, if there's a pothole, they would dig that thing up. It's like a saw. You got to take out the dead stuff, right? The dead tissue and so on. So just like the road, they would dig it up, take out all the old stuff, and then they would properly compact it with cut stones and other thing, aggregates, and compact that thing, and then they would place asphalt on it. That's how they used to do it. So it lasts longer. And there are some roads, because the Calivini road is taking so long, right? The big trucks and concrete trucks and all of those trucks, they are passing on roads that were never built for that kind of tonnage. So it's mashing up the road even faster. But I am saying to you folks, you see the dismantling of public works, that really caused a serious blow to road maintenance. Because in every parish, in every area, you had people maintaining the roads. So the minute time a pothole pops up, they go and they fix it. That's what's supposed to happen. But the NNP dismantled that. And then we had the asphalt plant that was in good condition, and they mash it up, they scrap it up, and they ship it out. And then the big boys roll in and set up what they had to set up. We got to be honest with our people and say it as is, because some of our people don't know. They forget all of those stuff, right? They forget all of those stuff. We have to remind them. And then the NNP, they were building those drains building roads without drains. So you had roads without drains. Where would the water go? Where would the water go? I'm asking. Rain will fall, but where would it go? It would undermine the road. So we have seen that for all the years. You have roads, but no drain. So the NDC administration, they decided, well, look, we need to put drains. So in a lot of areas, they have been constructing drains. They have been constructing drains. But we have some limitations. The asphalt plant, as we speak, cannot provide the government with all the asphalt needed for all the roads in the country. And if all the roads in the country could have been fixed, well, why didn't the NNP fix it? Why didn't the NNP fix all the roads? I mean, this thing is simple, You don't need to be a genius to understand this thing. You don't. So all of a sudden, they want to blame this government for all the bad roads, and they want the government to fix all the roads and fix it now. And you say, but wait, what nonsense is this? NNP, you were in power for 23 years and a half. Many of these roads, you did not even widen them. You did not even put drains alongside them. What you trying to tell me now? That the NDC could come now and fix everything and do everything and do it now? Come on. So they have their minions, they have their supporters, their surrogates who would call programs and cry and scream about the road condition. We have to be more patient. There are people who lack the understanding because they don't know how roads are constructed. They don't. So to them, it has to happen now. And the minute a pothole pops up, it should be fixed now. That is what they believe. But the NNP not going to remind anybody that they were responsible for dismantling public works where you had maintenance gangs or crew in every area who would make sure that they patch these roads, make sure that they fix these roads and don't make it get worse. That is what existed then. The NNP dismantled that. The NNP administration, to give their boys the opportunity to make a kill, to make a lot of money. And then they gave them contracts. And every time they have to fix a piece of road, they have to get a contract. Every time. So that slows down the process. And that is why you see the condition of the roads, how it is. And then Public Works, all the rammer, all the equipment, everything that they had, they auction it out or they gave it out to some of their cronies and friends. So the ministries, they don't have no equipment. They don't have no, what it takes to fix these roads. They put all of these things in the hands of some of those NNP cronies. I'm telling you, that is what they did during their period, the NNP administration. So what you'll find is potholes left, right, and center, and the government is trying. They're trying their best, and the roads will be fixed. But you have to have patience. Those things don't happen overnight, and you go in on a radio and scream aloud or complain. You believe that's going to change anything, cause the asphalt plant to produce more or have more workers out there, and you think, are we going to get more money and we're going to be able to fix all the roads? And come on. I'm saying, folks, it is clear like crystal. This government could be trusted. Our beloved Prime Minister made it abundantly clear that this year the priority is fixing the roads. The NNP realized, they heard he said so, and they decide, well, let us run out and say, well, the roads are bad and fix the roads. Right? That's what the NNP decided they would do. So then you, who don't understand, or who never followed the news the way it's supposed to be, you run with that and you say, well, the NNP, they're advocating for you and they this and they that. But the NDC, our beloved Prime Minister, said that roads will be priority. They would fix the roads. So when the roads are fixed now, then the NNP come out now and they want people to give them credit. To say, well, they was out there and they were begging and pleading and, that is what they want. But they fully well know that the government will fix the roads. And that's a priority for this year. But you have to have patience. You have to have patience. I listened this morning to a program. So there is this lady who benefited from the school bus pilot project with her kids. So she called and she said, well, and we hope that they bring back the thing and they hope that they come back but it was a pilot. It was a pilot project. So they are now collecting feedback from people like you and others so that they can improve it, look at the weaknesses, look at the strengths, improve it, and then roll it out as a actual project or program, as something that is, for a longer period of time. It was a pilot project for a reason. A project has a life, a start date, and an end date. So this Spice Bus project, it was a pilot. A pilot means that they train it. They want to see how it works. And if it works well, then they can make it permanent or more long-term. So to call a radio program, and yes, in and between, she says, well, it's a good program, it's nice, and it's okay. I benefited from it, but they shouldn't this, and they shouldn't cut it, and they shouldn't this, and they should bring it back, and they call us, and they send us a text message the day before, but they told you that long before, so you're not being sincere, long before that they're going to cut the program, right, and have feedback taken, and then improve it, and then roll it out in a serious way. But some people are so disingenuous. They would call a program and make you believe that the sky is falling apart. But if you really check carefully, if you really understand the thing, they can't fool you. And that is why I said yesterday, you have to remain focused. You have to understand that the NNP, their surrogates, their goons, their zygotes and sycophants, they would be desperate, particularly this year, with a lot of misinformation, a lot of propaganda, a lot of concoction. Things that don't even exist. I'm telling you, things that they're imagining. They would come out and make you believe that it's reality. They're desperate for power. And they would jump on anything. Right now, they're jumping on the road donkey. The road this, and the road that, and the road. Because they believe that Grenadians are easy to forget. And they're convinced about that. And that's their strategy. But what we need to do is to educate our people. Let our people know that to asphalt is not anything easy. To make it, to get to that point. The asphalt plant cannot make or produce all the asphalt needed to fix all the roads in the country. That is why we have a next asphalt plant coming. They have already set up the infrastructure and all of these things. So very soon, they will go into operation. All right? Also, the NNP was responsible for dismantling public works where they had these maintenance gangs. Right? I heard the sheeter on the street this morning on a program talking about maintenance and maintenance. Well, it was the NNP that dismantled the maintenance gangs in the different districts and different parishes. They dismantled that and they gave their boys contracts to make a money, to make a kill out of taxpayers. That is what they did. So you can't fool me. You can't fool people with sense. And I want to encourage you who are viewing and who are listening to this program. You need to educate others. when they open their mouth about the roads, you need to tell them, have patience. Give it some time. There are ongoing major projects that have deadlines. And if they don't fix it within that time or utilize the resources within a specific period, then we are down to lose the money. Let them know that the asphalt plant cannot produce the amount of asphalt needed to fix all of the roads. So you need to educate them, speak to them. You have to counter these things on programs. Because all they do every morning, roads and roads and roads and roads. But you need to make them know. Ask them, but who dismantled public works where they had the maintenance crew in different parishes, fixing our roads, maintaining our roads? They didn't have to wait for a contract because they were employed by the government of Grenada to maintain the roads. So they dismantle it, all the equipment gone, all the workers and so on sent home. You got to ask them those questions. That's important. Very, very important. And then you have to ask them further, but do we produce the bitumen, the petroleum, the sticky petroleum like byproduct? Do we produce that here? And not only that, ask them, but what's about those major projects? You want the government to go and fix these roads, and then when they pressure test, then you have to go and dig it up again and dig it up again. And some people are unreasonable. The government of Grenada, just before they started this project in the south of the island and other parts, they did some of the by roads. You can pass there, but no, you want to pass on the main road. Okay, then you pass there with the condition that exists. It's simple like that. So I am saying the government said that they would prioritize the fixing of roads, and you can trust them because everything they have told you so far, they have delivered on it. This is not the NNP in power, it's the NDC. And you can trust them. You can believe what they say. All right? So, folks, I thought I should speak about this and say to you, you need to have some more patience and some more tolerance. Development comes at a cost, and the cost here is inconvenience, and it would only be for a time. I want to wish all the viewers and listeners the best for the entire day. I will be back with you tonight in the hub, starting from 8 in the p.m. Take good care and have a wonderful